Hello crafters, welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Today I'm going to be crafting with the Love from Lizi Party Time, and this is the December kit. I'm a little bit behind, folks, between a wedding and a house move and Christmas and everything. I am so far behind. I'm going to leave links to this December kit down below. I'm not sure if it's sold out, but the links will bring you to Love from Lizi's website, where you can look at card kits and products and add-ons that Lizi has. So everything will be in the description down below. So let's start with our first card, and this piece measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25. Now it's in the orientation of a side folding card, but it will be a top folding card. I have a white piece to go inside, and this measures 4 by 5.25. We can put our sentiment on that. And then I have another piece of white cardstock to go on top of that on the outside. Again, this piece is 4 by 5.25. We'll sit that on our card base, and on top of this piece we'll put our pattern piece of paper. This measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and that will sit on top like so. I'm going to use this die to die cut out in gold the fireworks die, this piece here. Now it comes with the party die cut word inside, but I won't be using that. I'm just using this large die. I've taken a circle die from my stash, and what I've done is I've die cut out the circle in gold, then I die cut out using the fireworks die, and I've cut off a piece of the bottom because I want my fireworks piece to sit on top like so. Once I have that on, then I'm going to take in this white strip. This white strip measures 5 inches by 3/4 of an inch. I've also used beautiful peel-offs. These are a stunning black with gold edging peel-offs that come in the kit, and I have edged the top and the bottom of my strip using that. I've also taken some of these fireworks rub-ons, and I think these are so cool, and I will show you how I did that later on in the video. But really all you need to do is take your piece of paper, you put down your little firework, then you rub down on it, and it gets released from that clear paper and down onto your cardstock. And I just love these. As you can see, I just used pieces of the fireworks to embellish that strip there. I'm also going to take some of the stamps. This one is the Happy New Year stamp. I have stamped that down. You can see it comes here in the stamp set we got. I've stamped that onto a piece of card, and then I've taken a punch from my stash. This is an EK Success punch. It's a 1.5 scalloped edged punch, and I just use that then to punch out my Happy New Year. And you can see around that I've put down some of the fireworks rub-ons and put some little foam pads behind that to give it dimension. So that's all our pieces and parts. Let's go ahead now and stick everything down. So I've stuck down my white panel inside the card and on the outside of the card. I'm adding my pattern paper, and I'm also going to add my little strip with my sentiment. Now I'm using my Cosmic Shimmer glue to glue these down, as well as to glue down my gold fireworks or starburst, whatever you'd like to call this down. Once that's down, then I'm going to add my Happy New Year little piece, and I put some thin foam pads on the back of that. Perfect. Then all we need to do is add to the inside. Now I'm going to use the rub-ons or the transfers, whatever you'd like to call them, and I'm going to stick down one in the top left hand corner and one in the bottom right hand corner. I just want to bring the fireworks from the outside of the card to the inside, and it's that simple, folks. I've taken the sentiment that came in the stamp set, and it's wishing all my family and friends a Happy New Year. I think this is a lovely sentiment to have in the stash as well. So that's card number 1 finished. Now we're moving on to card number 2. So I made this when I did the unboxing. This piece of card measures 11 by 4¼ and I've scored it at 5½. I wanted to show how the die would look during the unboxing. And what I did was I took my die, I set it in place, put it through my Sizzix Big Shot, and then I die cut out the word party and I die cut that out in gold. Now I think this is lovely having it as see-through, but I think adding the gold behind it, which is what I'm going to do, looks really well for a finish. So you can see here with the gold behind it, I think it just makes the gold word of the party pop. So I'm going to cut a piece of that down and add it behind. I've taken some ephemera and I'm going to add that to the front of the card. And I'm also going to take some stars from the peel-off set, one that comes in the add-ons. And I think that's going to really give a lovely look to this card. So let's go ahead now and put it all together. I've cut my gold cardstock a little bit smaller, so it measures 4 by 5¼ and you can see there it's shining through the openings and it looks fab. I love this card. I think it's my favorite. Yeah, I'm putting my hands up. I'm calling this one my favorite. I think it's a very clean looking card and I think this card as it is would just be perfect. Adding all these lovely pieces of ephemera, I think, just brings it up a notch. I'm adding these sparkling champagne glasses and I've put some foam behind those, and I'm going to add some to the party hat as well. And once I've that done and they're stuck down, I'm going to go ahead and add some glossy accents to the ephemera pieces. I'm going to put some on the glasses, the hat, and then each alternative little flag there in the flag banner. I'm putting my sentiment inside and it says wishing all my family and friends a happy new year, because I figured that was a good one to go with. And although I'm not going to use these cards this year, I will keep them for next year and I'll have them ready to send out a little early. Now for a finish, we're adding our gold stars, and like I said, these gold stars come in one of the add-on packs and you can find them in the Love from Lizi's web shop. Once that's done, then I'll add a couple to the inside too, and that will be the finish of this card. And that's it. That's card number 2 done. Now we're going to move on to card number 3. So this card is a top folding card. It measures 11 by 4¼ and I've scored it at 5½. Lovely. Now this is going to be a birthday card and I have someone in mind for this. I have a piece of pattern paper and white cardstock and they measure 4 by 5¼ and the white one will go on the inside for our sentiment, the pattern paper will go on the outside. So next I have die cut out again one of my fireworks or starburst, whatever you like to call it, but I haven't die cut out the pieces. It's more or less embossed and I've put some sticky tape behind that to keep some of the pieces in place. I'm going to use one of these chipboard pieces as well as these 2 pieces of ephemera. And that is basically going to be the front of this card. Now there's ephemera here, the 2 gifts, as well as this Legends Are Born in January piece. And I'm going to put them inside to decorate because this person's birthday is in January. Hi Dervla, if you're watching, and this is going to be her birthday card. I don't think she's watching, so, you know, but anyway, this is for Dervla. So let's go ahead, speed everything up and assemble our card. I've glued down the Legends piece and the big brown parcel, and to the other parcel or gift I'm going to put that on some foam tape, and it's a thin foam tape so it just gives it a little bit of dimension. Again, I'm going to glue down my pattern paper to my card base, and then I'm going to stick down my fireworks piece. And like I said, I've used some sticky tape behind that because although I put it through to emboss, it did kind of cut through a little bit. And that's just because I had an extra shim in that I really shouldn't have had. But you can use a die to emboss rather than die cut. So there you go, little handy tip for today. I'm putting some of that slim foam to the back of my champagne bottle and my glass full of champagne. Even though I don't know if that's champagne because it's kind of a dark colour, but it could just be a fruity champagne. Anyway, once those two are down, I'm going to embellish this card, and all I'm going to use is some glossy accents. I'm going to fill in the POP as well as some of the splash marks, and I'm going to put some glossy accents on the labels on my champagne bottle, as well as fill the glass with glossy accents so it looks like a glass. And that is card number 3 finished. Card 4 is going to be a Z-fold card, and for this piece I have my card base and it measures 8.5 by 5.5. There we go. I've scored it at 2 1/8 as well as 4 1/4. I folded it in half and then folded this panel back, and that gives us our Z-fold style of card. Onto this, I'm going to embellish it with a stamped sentiment as well as some of the ephemera. I've also got some pattern paper pieces that I'm going to put here. These two pieces of pattern paper measure 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Then I have a white piece and it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this little strip measures 4 by 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to embellish that strip using some pink peel-offs, the sparkly ones that I got in one of the add-on sets. So that's how our card will look when it's closed. Now I'm going to embellish it. This piece came in the ephemera pack, and you can see there I cut it in half because I wanted it to be longer than what it is. So I'm going to bridge these two pieces by using my stamped sentiment, which I punched out using a punch that measures 2 1/4 inches in diameter. I'm going to embellish it again using one of my ephemera pieces, the bottle of champagne, another glass filled with something fizzy inside, a banner, and I've got a chipboard piece, which is the 2 glasses of champagne. So let's go ahead now and assemble our card. So I'm sticking down my 2 pieces of pattern paper, and I've made sure they're in the right orientation. And then I'm going to add down my white panel. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment onto that as well. I'm going to stamp the Midnight Wishes and New Year's Kisses onto that. You can see there I have my strip down, and these are the beautiful pink glitter straight edged peel-offs. They're all the same length, and like I said, you can find these in the add-ons. They're beautiful. I got a pack of 4 of these and they're just lovely. I stamped my wishing all my family and friends a Happy New Year on a punched out piece of white cardstock, but I wanted to add dimension, which I couldn't do because I've cut this piece in half. So what I did was I added some foam behind them. I punched out another circle the same size and I stuck those two together. And that will allow me to have my bit of dimension for my sentiment piece without having to worry about how now I could have put a piece of foam on the top piece there and the bottom piece, but I just felt that this was kind of a cleaner way of doing it, so that's the way I went with it. Now once I have those two in place, it's just a matter of adding our little bottle of champers and our glass. And again, I'll use glossy accents on this. I will add some to the bottle of champagne, to the glass of champagne, and to my chipboard piece there. And I'm also going to use some of the sparkling enamel dots that we got in the kit. And they're the pink ones, very similar to the peel-offs that I've used. I'm sticking down my little banner there, and then we just need to add our sentiment. And I have that ready on a little stamping block. I love Lizi's stamps. The stamps she uses are a good photopolymer stamp. And you know what? I have no reservations about using a stamp block when I use these stamps because I know they're going to stamp well. I use the Versafine Onyx black ink. I find it gives the crispest stamping. Unless you press too hard, it doesn't really blur or smudge on your cardstock, and I just find brilliant between that ink and Lizi stamps, you can't go wrong. So there we go. There is our Z-fold card number 4. And now we're moving on to card 5. And this card is a 11 by 4¼ piece of cardstock, and I've scored it at 5½. It's going to be a side folding card. I've taken this piece of pattern paper and it measures 5¼ by 4 inches. I'm going to also add some sequins to this card, as well as some ephemera, a bow that I made using some of the ribbon that came in the kit, as well as a chipboard piece. Now the chipboard pieces, they have a release paper, they're sticky backed, but I use glue with them as well. This is the pack of add-ons, the peel-offs, and I'll use the gold holographic ones, and I think they're fab. So let's go ahead now, stick everything down and assemble our card. The first thing I'm going to do is take the gold holographic peel-offs, and I'm going to add that to the bottom of our patterned paper, and I'm leaving about a 1/16 of an inch at the bottom, so it's not right down to the edge, it's just up a tiny little bit. And I'm going to add it to the bottom of each side. I'm going to cut it off so it's a little bit long, and then wrap the peel off around the back. It just means that when I glue this piece down, the peel off edges are stuck to the back of our pattern paper and they're not going to come off. Not that that has ever been an issue for me using the peel offs. I find them fab. They have a really good adhesive on them. Generally, when they're put in place and rubbed down firmly, they stay where you put them. So again, I'm using my liquid Cosmic Shimmer glue. I'm going to glue down my pattern paper to my card base, and you'll see the fabulous holographic sparkle I'm going to get from those gold holographic peel-offs. I think it just brings a little bit of pizzazz to the card. Okay, once I've that done, I'm going to decide where I want my ephemera pieces, and I do faff around for a few minutes deciding what's going to go where. And I really liked the look of this without that dress ephemera piece on the front. I thought that could be a masculine card just there. If I'd left it with the Let's Celebrate and the balloons on the front, I could have put a sentiment inside. That would have been cool to give to a guy. Not saying that you can't give a guy a card that has a dress on it. No. But I liked the look of that for a finish on the front. I'm going to add the little dress to the inside, and I will stamp a sentiment and add some more ephemera to that. Here I've got one of the chipboard piece balloons, and I've stuck that on the front of my ephemera balloons so that I'll have a little dimension there. You can see here I've taken 2 ephemera balloons and I'm going to pop them in the inside, bringing the look of the balloons from the outside to the inside. Now I wanted to use a happy birthday for this, and I found that in the May 2021 kit, the butterfly wishes, and I've used the little happy birthday from that to stamp on the inside. I'm going to stick down my little bow on the front, and to do that I'm using hot glue. I find this works best for me. I have no worries about it coming off then. For finish, I'm going to put some glue in a few little places and add some sequins. These are little sample sequins that we get in the kit. I've put some into this little bowl here, and I'm going to use that to embellish the front of the card. I like when I have glued down my sequins to take some glossy accents and fill the sequins with it. I find that once the glossy accents dries, we get a lovely filled clear look to the sequins, and it also makes sure those don't come off either. I'm going to put a little glossy accents over some of the balloons. I'm going to put it on the chipboard piece as well as 2 of the balloons and the ephemera. And I'm going to just embellish around the front of the card with some of the glossy accents as well. And that's it. That is card number 5. So we only did 5 cards for this kit, but that's because I'm so late at actually using this kit and making a video for it, like I said in the beginning. So here's another look at our 5 cards. You can see here this one I have the stars on, and I've used some glossy accent. With card number 2, again you can see the shine that we have here and our little stars and sentiment inside. You can see there the sentiment inside card 1. Card 3, I love this one. I think it's so sparkly and shiny. Yeah, I think this will make a great birthday card. I hope Derbla likes it. For card number 4, then we have our Z-fold card, and we extended our piece of ephemera to fit. Very cute card. Love the color pink. And then finally, card number 5, our Let's Celebrate Again, another birthday card. So we got 3 New Year's cards and 2 birthday cards using this, the December Love from Lizi kit. I'm not sure if there's any available in the website, but if there is, I'll leave links down below to everything that I have used. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, don't forget to click the like button. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. And if not, please click on that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified each time I post a new video. So that's it. Until next time, I wish you a very happy, healthy and prosperous new year. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.